Raoul, we set out tonight for Paris, and cried the young man, turning pale. You may go and offer your adieu and mine to Madame de Saint Remy. I shall wait for you here till 7. The young man bent low, with an expression of sorrow and gratitude mingled, and retired in order to saddle his horse. As to D'Artagnan, scarcely, on his side, was he out of sight when he drew from his pocket a letter, which he read over again. "Return immediately to Paris, J.M." "The epistle is laconic," said D'Artagnan, "and if there had not been a postscript, probably I should not have understood it, but happily there is a postscript." And he read that welcome postscript, which made him forget the abruptness of the letter. P.S. Go to the king's treasurer. At Blois tell him your name, and show him this letter. You will receive 200 pistoles. Assuredly, said D'Artagnan, I admire this piece of prose. The cardinal writes better than I thought. Come, Planchet, let us pay a visit to the king's treasurer, and then set off toward Paris. Sir, toward Paris. And they set out at as hard a canter as their horses could maintain. Chapter XVI. The Duc de Beaufort. The circumstances that had hastened the return of D'Artagnan to Paris were as follows. One evening, when Mazarin, according to custom, went to visit the queen, in passing the guard chamber, he heard loud voices wishing to know on what topic the soldiers were conversing. He approached with his wonted wolf-like step, pushed open the door, and put his head close to the chink. There was a dispute among the guards. I tell you, one of them was saying, that if Coysel predicted that, 'tis as good as true. I know nothing about it, but I have heard say that he's not only an astrologer, but a magician. Deuce take it, friend, if as one of thy friends thou wilt ruin him in saying so, why, because he may be tried for it. All absurd, they don't burn sorcerers nowadays. No, 'tis not a long time since the late cardinal burnt Urban Grandier, though, my friend, Urban Grandier wasn't a sorcerer. He was a learned man. He didn't predict the future. He knew the past often a more dangerous thing. Mazarin nodded an assent, but wishing to know what this prediction was, about which they disputed, he remained in the same place. I don't say, resumed the guard, that Coysel is not a sorcerer, but I say that, if his prophecy gets wind, it's a sure way to prevent its coming true. How so? Why, in this way, if Coysel says loud enough, on such or such a day such a prisoner will escape, 'tis plain that the cardinal will take measures of precaution, and that the prisoner will not escape. Good Lord, said another guard, who might have been thought asleep on a bench, but who had lost not a syllable of the conversation, do you suppose that men can escape their destiny? If it is written yonder, in heaven, that the Duc de Beaufort is to escape, he will escape, and all the precautions of the cardinal will not prevent it. Mazarin started. He was an Italian and therefore superstitious. He walked straight into the midst of the guards, who on seeing him were silent. What were you saying? He asked with his flattering manner, that Monsieur de Beaufort had escaped. Were you not— Oh, no, my lord, said the incredulous soldier. He's well guarded now. We only said he would escape. Who said so? Repeat your story. Saint Laurent, replied the man, turning to the originator of the tale. My lord, said the guard, I have simply mentioned the prophecy I heard from a man named Coysel, who believes that, be he ever so closely watched and guarded, the Duke of Beaufort will escape before Whitsunted. Coysel is a madman, returned the cardinal. No, replied the soldier, tenacious in his credulity. He has foretold many things which have come to pass, for instance, that the queen would have a son, that Monsieur Coligny would be killed in a duel with the Duc de Guise, and, finally, that the co-tutor would be made cardinal. Well, the queen has not only one son, but two. Then Monsieur de Coligny was killed. And "Yes," said Mazarin, "but the co-tutor is not yet made cardinal." "No, my lord, but he will be," answered the guard. Mazarin made a grimace, as if he meant to say, "But he does not wear the cardinal's cap." Then he added, "So, my friend, it's your opinion that Monsieur de Beaufort will escape?" "That's my idea, my lord, and if your eminence were to offer to make me at this moment governor of the castle of Vincennes, I should refuse it. After Whitsunted it would be another thing.